Welcome, ladies and gents, to my Creed 3 review. I really enjoyed this film. I thought this was very, very good. It sort of got off to a bit of a slow start, but then really hit the ground running. And as a directorial debut from Michael B. Jordan, I thought this was really, really well done. There's some great sort of stylistic, almost surrealist elements that are thrown into this in terms of the boxing fights themselves and the throwback to childhood elements. Really, really decent. So what's the story? Well, Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan, they're childhood friends, brothers from different mothers, and one goes down, I mean, you saw the trailer, one goes down for the others. Well, one just goes down and is neglected by the other. Jonathan Majors goes down and Michael B. Jordan neglects him, and he comes out of prison and he wants it all. He's going to take it all from Michael B. Jordan. He's the champ. He's the true champ. But really, the true fight is actually with your own emotions. Let go of the past and fight what's here and now is essentially the film. But it's really good. This is a decent film. From start to finish, it's actually a pretty decent film. Like I said, it does get off to a bit of a slow start. The pacing at the start is hindered. I don't know. It just didn't really get the ground running. But then we get into a nice sort of second act where we really build the emotional tension between these two that you sort of felt anyway. But you really do need that slow down pace to build to that big crescendo. And the final fight, it's a Rocky film, isn't it, basically? So the final fight is what you expect it to be, but it was very, very good, you know, and it builds up nicely to that final fight, and you really do get involved in it. This is going to sound, I don't know, maybe you'll agree with me. These are the kind of roles Tessa Thompson should have. When she's playing Men in Black, when she's playing Valkyrie, it's one note, it's generic. She doesn't really act. Here, she actually acts, and I'm reminded, like, oh, she does actually act. I'm like, oh, okay, good. Stop trying to make her like an action star. Sure, she might have a good physique by Hollywood standards, whatever you think, but she's not an action star, and she's terrible. And in this, she's actually pretty decent. You know, yeah, sure, some of her emoting is not the best, but you felt it. And Michael B. Jordan in this role is good, you know, he is good in this role. You do feel that this is a role that he enjoys, and as a directorial debut, as I said before, this really does shine. It's a good directorial debut. One thing I will say that I miss from the Rocky films, because obviously this is part of, or was spawned from, the Rocky franchise itself, is the music. There's the distinct, yeah, it misses the music of a Rocky film. Rocky had very iconic music. I don't think you're going to look back in 20, 30 years time on Creed 3 and go, that music was iconic. You know, you're just not. Maybe, but I doubt it. It's incredibly unlikely. And maybe that's just the test of time because, you know, Rocky came out at a time where the music was iconic, so I had more to choose from. Maybe they had better people choosing them. I don't know. But I know of better bands that are out there that produce better music that would probably stand the test of time a little bit more than generic hip-hop rap, you know, beats. So, yeah, all in all, good, well shot, directorial debut, great, music is lackluster, first act, weird rocky pace to the start, but then it hits the ground running. It's a good film, it's a feel-good film, and you do feel good leaving the cinema. It's emotionally gut-wrenching at moments. Jonathan Majors is a standout actor. Forget what you think about him as Kang. He's shit as Kang by comparison. This is the type of role that he should have more of. You know, actually a director, Michael B. Jordan, and a script that he can really work with. There's a duality to Jonathan Majors in this that's very, very good. You know, where he's sort of just released from prison and he plays this sort of downtrodden, downbeat guy, down on his luck. He doesn't want no handouts. He's straight. He's going to go for it. Yeah, he's the champ. He missed out on his life's goal. To, nah, man, I'm taking it all. I'm a ferocious beast and I'm going to beat you into the floor. And that duality, yet seldom can actors pull that off. But Jonathan Majors is a great actor. And physicality-wise, both actors pull it off great. The fight choreography is very good. Now, I'm not a boxer. I don't know whether this would stand up to boxing methods. scrutiny, but I don't think Rocky would either. Maybe, I don't know. But from an outsider's perspective watching this, I was enthralled. It felt visceral, it felt real. The prosthetic work, there's one particular shot towards the end of the film. Michael B. Jordan's nose is busted open and there's like a close-up shot of it. And it looks so real, so very real. And yeah, I can't fault any of that stuff. Like the prosthetic work that they do on this, the special effects makeup, because that's what it is, it's special effects makeup, isn't it? Is just second to none. I do feel that these people are taking punches. Although, Michael B. Jordan in the final fight does wear white gloves. I dare you to try and find the blood on them. There's no blood on his gloves. In fact, they are just pristine white the whole fight. I did notice that whilst watching this film. They were pristine white. The whole time. Now, I don't know, but I don't think that would be the case. If you're beating someone up and they're bleeding on you, you would have blood on your gloves. If they're white. But it's a minor nitpick. These are feel-good films. They are throwbacks. This film will do very well at the cinema this weekend. I believe it has no competition. Ant-Man is not competition to this. And it's funny because you have two movies going up against one another with the same actor as part of the lead. Kang, Jonathan Majors, Damien, Jonathan Majors, in Creed 3 and Ant-Man 3. They are the threequel battling it off. And this is by far the best. If you've already watched Ant-Man, go watch this and you will just... And if you're not familiar with Jonathan Majors, you will be like, yeah, he's a great actor. Because this is how much range he does actually have. A very, very good actor. So all in all, great film. Rocky, his presence is missed. He's not mentioned. He's not talked about in any way, shape or form. He's just completely forgotten about. And I do feel like that's a shame. I think if you didn't know that this was spawned from the Rocky franchise, you wouldn't feel his absence. But because you know it, you do feel it. If that makes any sense. So to me, from an outsider's perspective looking in as a fan of Rocky, it's a shame, but all in all, still a good film. On its own merit, it's a decent film. I would highly recommend going to watch it. If you've seen it, let me know what you think down below. Cheers, guys. Take care.